up, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the weekend preview for June 24th, 2012. AC is pumping maximum right now because it is hot here in Connecticut, so please bear with me on that. A lot to talk about. A lot has happened over the past week to review, but this is also going to be a very full week for new games and new gaming footage, and I'm very excited because some really cool stuff coming out, some of which we've been anticipating for quite a long time. And it's going to be a mix of so many different cool things that I definitely want to talk to you about it. Alright, so, alright, let's do a little bit of review like usual. Before we talk about what's coming up, let's talk about what we've done over the past week. And if you've been following along, you know that we just got back from Too Many Games gaming convention in Oaks, Pennsylvania. It was great. We had a panel for Project 7. We promoted the hell out of the series in Episode 4. We actually showed the trailer for Episode 4. And it was very successful. We sold T-shirts. We met and great with lots of the fans. I think we probably had over 100 people that we met over the course of the weekend. So thank you to anyone who actually went to Too Many Games. We had a blast, and we loved meeting you. Then when we got back, basically I had 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where I was trying to decide what should I do. And I decided that I was going to do some games that a lot of people had asked me to do, but it was actually a time in my life when I had missed out. It was actually the early 2000s when the PlayStation 2 had come into its own, was becoming the dominant force of gaming on the market. Sony was huge, and a lot of the most popular games for that console, including Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, I had never played, because at that point in my life I was heavily into competitive Street Fighter, and that's what I was focused on, and I wasn't really playing console video games. Therefore, what I decided to do was to go back and play some of those games. So I actually played Sly Cooper and Thievius Raccoonus, the HD remake that was available on PlayStation Network a couple months ago, and I also played Jak and Daxter, the Precursor. Is it Precursor? Yeah, the Precursor Legacy. For PlayStation 3. This was the collection, the HD collection that had been released recently, and that my friend the Arid Lord had actually lent me at Too Many Games. Lots happened during those playthroughs. I think I did better on Sly, definitely, than I did on Jak and Daxter. And overall, here's what I have to say. I enjoyed playing both games massively. I completely understand why they're considered classics. They're both really good games, okay? They definitely show their age. When you play these games today, you realize, okay, these are 10, 11-year-old games. That being said, that's why there's maybe some camera issues in certain spots, some control issues in certain spots, some bad checkpoints, some really cheap instant deaths. You understand that as you play. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be verbose about those things when they happen when I play. I've done it in every single game I've ever played in my entire life. I'm not going to change my style up now. And some people understand that and respect that and know what I'm doing and say this is how Phil does his game playthroughs. And some people absolutely flip out. This is a classic, and Phil, how can he complain and yell at the game makers? He's a dipshit for yelling at this game that everyone knows is one of the best games for PlayStation 2. They don't get it. Those people don't get it, okay? And some other people say, yes, because I blame everything on the game. Well, a lot of the times, yeah, I do blame everything on the game because I feel if I do the input, the fucking game should do what I tell it. Why is there, you know, oh, Phil, you just shouldn't have kept dying on that point. Well, then, make it so I don't keep dying on that point. You know what I mean? I'm not saying by any means that I'm the best gamer. I know I'm not. But I didn't play this era of platformers. It's actually difficult for me to play 3D platformers, especially ones with bad cameras and such. It's annoying. A lot of the things that were present in these games were present in Epic Mickey. And that's sad to say because Epic Mickey came out in fucking 2010 and they still had the same issues. So they didn't learn. These games at least are a decade old. There's a reason why they had some of the issues they have. I still thought the games were great. I still think the playthroughs were great and I think people would really enjoy them. Just kind of ignore some of the people who go nuts in the comments of those videos because they're such fanboys of the games and they're mad that I'm not playing them to perfection. And I would dare say a bad thing about Sucker Punch or Naughty Dog. How dare you, Phil? Fuck you. Yeah, how dare I? How dare you? So after I finished those games, it was Saturday, John Rambo came over, and we did a shit ton of co-op this week. We did a new episode of Smart Guys, which is up over on his channel, John Rambo Presents. That's our wrestling commentary show. We simulated the WWE No Way Out pay-per-view matches in WWE 12 that we missed last week. We missed the pay-per-view last week when we were too many games. We simulated those here on DSPGaming. Some really big surprises, including the appearance of another superhero to challenge Ryback, that's right, and also some pretty zany stuff going on. Definitely check that out if you're a fan of wrestling. And then we started a game that so many people were flipping out because they thought that I had skipped it, but I hadn't. I was actually saving it for co-op. Lego Batman 2, and we did 25 parts of this, so we did a ridiculous amount of gameplay on Saturday. If you missed out, definitely check it out. I didn't do any new gameplay today, so that's what you can watch. Also, keep in mind, Project 7 Episode 4, obviously if you haven't heard, I don't know how you couldn't have, but it's out. It was released late Saturday, or I guess you could say early Sunday, and I can tell you right now, it's only been out for about 19 hours, and YouTube on the video itself is showing like 28,000 views, but when I actually search for the video on YouTube, it says well over 40,000 total views. So obviously YouTube is doing its usual thing where when a video is up for the first day and a half, the views are very inaccurate. I just want to warn everyone, there has been this bug, because the reason I know this is because when I uploaded the trailer for Episode 4 of Project 7 earlier this week, it actually said it only had 18,000 views for over 24 hours. Then all of a sudden, at some point in there, it decided to refresh the next day, and it said it had over almost 50,000 views. So it went from 18,000 to 50,000. No, YouTube just didn't accurately show the views all during that time period. So that's going to happen, obviously, with this episode as well. But what I can say is, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for all the feedback. There are some people who gave constructive feedback, ways that can improve this series. I always appreciate that, and we are taking that into consideration. There are some people, unfortunately, who just like to shit on everything. This series sucks, and we're not going to focus on that, okay? We're going to focus on making the series better with the resources that we have, trying to do as best as we can with what we've got. And as I've said, Episode 5 of Project 7 will not be coming out until probably October. It's going to be a special theme episode for that month. But we're going to take the time to look for really good shooting locations. I've actually already got some gears in the works regarding that. I'm going to see what I can do on that front. And we've got some really cool ideas bobbing around in our heads. It's going to be a really good episode, okay? But anyway, thanks to everyone who's checked out Episode 4. Definitely give it a watch. It is Retroland related, meaning all those retro games. You got Super Mario, you got Pac-Man, you got Pitfall, you got Frogger. You've got all those classic gaming elements in there. So if you know people who like those games, grew up in that era like I did, definitely share the video with them. I think it's the kind of thing that someone who likes those games may not necessarily know who me or John or Howard or OJ is, but just if they like those games, they'll probably like the episode. Similarly to how Episode 3, if you like shooter games like Gears of War or Metal Gear Solid or Call of Duty, you probably would have liked that episode, even if you didn't know what the hell we were all about. So please share the episode with your friends, and what I can tell you is coming up this week I'm going to contact Machinima, and I'm going to see what we can do about doing the 4-episode run on Machinima that's been talked about for several months now, as you know. Ever since Episode 2, they've liked the series, and they said they were considering putting it on one of their Machinima channels as like a 4-week run, and each like 1 episode a week. And if they could do that in July or August, that would be tremendous for us, because it would promote the new episode we're going to put out in October. It would get people geared and ready for it. And it would possibly appeal to a whole new audience of people. We really feel that Episodes 3 and 4, unlike Episodes 1 and 2 that were a lot of inside references and stuff, Episodes 3 and 4 appeal to bigger, broader audiences, and we like it because of that. And so hopefully, we're hoping that the Machinima audience will be a good audience. It may not be. Doesn't matter. Any exposure is exposure. Any views are additional views, and we're really hoping that it'll take off in that regard. I guess we'll have to see what happens with Machinima. I'll give you more updates on that when they're available. Last but not least, today I filmed a condo tour. This is the first condo tour in almost a full year. A lot has changed about my condo, and for the first time I go into a lot of detail, meaning I show you what's in the cabinets, I show you what's in my fridge, I show you what's in the closet. I go into the bathroom for the first time in detail and show people who are really flipping out, I want to see his toilet! I must see the king's throne! Well, you get to see the king's throne, and let me tell you, it ain't no golden fucking chariot, you know what I mean? It's a pretty shitty toilet. I said a pretty shitty toilet. What an appropriate adjective to use for a toilet, huh? But anyway, the condo tour. I didn't want to do any more gaming footage to detract from Project 7 today, but the condo tour is up on DSPGaming as of right now as well. Check that out. Lots of parts to that, by the way. And what I'll be doing, just so everyone knows, Project 7 Episode 4 will be the main video on my channel page here. I'm going to actually, right now, I forgot to do it last night. I think I'm going to put it up on DSP Street Fighter. I'm going to put it up, it's already up on Dark Side Phil. It's already up on DSP Final Fantasy 13, that old channel. It's already up on the King of Hate HD. I've put it up to try to get some extra exposure. People who are looking at my old stuff, I said, gee, what's he up to now? Well, that's the first video they see. So it will remain the main video on those channels and primarily on DSPGaming for probably all this week. Regardless of the fact that there's new games coming out, I wanted to get some exposure, so that's what's going to be, okay? Let's talk about this week. Very exciting week. Finally, multiple big releases, things that people actually want to see. That's right, we're not talking filler content, we're not talking some game that people aren't sure of, we're talking games that people are like, yeah, I've been waiting for this shit and it's finally out. So let's talk about that. Monday is not the case. That's not what's happening on Monday. There's no new games on Monday. I got a couple ideas I'm bouncing around in my head. Maybe something that I picked up at too many games. It may not be. There will be entertaining footage for you on Monday. Okay? Tuesday, new game. Spec Ops The Line comes out. And I'm very excited to try it out. I tried the demo. Loved the demo. Okay? Here's my plans because there's another thing. There's two things happening on Tuesday. The Mass Effect 3 DLC ending. That's right, the extension to the ending of Mass Effect 3 is also going live for free on Tuesday. So what I'm planning to do is go pick up Spec Ops The Line, play some of it, okay? Do the release day unboxing and everything that I usually do with it. And then go back to Mass Effect 3. Just so you know, if you do get this DLC, you have to restart your gameplay from a game save state starting right before the mission where you attack the Cerberus base at the end of the game. I really hope I have a game save of that. If I don't, I think I might be fucked. So I guess we're going to find out. What I'm planning to do is to replay that whole ending sequence. It'll be cool to refresh us of all what it was, and then beat the game and see the new ending, the DLC ending. And probably what I'm going to do is do the one that I actually chose in my official playthrough, and then what I might do, depending on how long it takes to keep redoing it, is I might actually do the other endings. We'll see, but we're going to see them together, and I'm going to comment on it, and we're going to get the true ending of Mass Effect 3 that you, the fans, basically yelled and screamed and told EA and BioWare, fuck you, we want a better ending. It's coming, and we're going to see what it is on Tuesday, okay? That's Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got, that's right, Episode 2 of that Walking Dead episodic game from Telltale Games. Episode 1 came out in end of April. People loved my playthrough. I've been dying to see Part 2 for quite some time. It took them 2 months to get it out, but it's coming out this Wednesday. So you're going to see more Spec Ops The Line gameplay on Wednesday, plus The Walking Dead. Okay, you're going to see all of Episode 2. Thursday is all going to depend on how far I've gotten with Spec Ops The Line and such. I'm assuming I probably still wouldn't have beaten by then, so you'll probably see more Spec Ops The Line. I may also, I believe it does have multiplayer, I may try some multiplayer. It's possible by the end of this week that you'll see I'll do some fan appreciation multiplayer of Spec Ops The Line with other people who bought it for the Xbox 360. I'll have more info on that later on in the week, but you're going to see more Spec Ops The Line gameplay all week. Then on Saturday, John Rambo will be back yet again to do another episode of Smart Guys. We're going to continue the Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes playthrough on Saturday, and we're hoping to beat that game on Saturday. The only other major event this week is Ask the King, and I saved it for the end of the video because I hope people will watch this. Ask the King's 25th episode. That's right, I've been doing this for 25 episodes over the course of a year. It's been like a year and a half I've been doing these now. Pretty cool milestone. And I just want to let everyone know, please, if you have questions you want to ask me, ask them on the forums. KingofHate.com. There's an Ask the King section in the forums where you can post up. Also, as you know, the day of when I record this show, I accept both Twitter and Facebook questions. So what's going to happen is on Thursday, like I said, Tuesday and Wednesday you're going to have the combination of Spec Ops The Line and other stuff, okay? Thursday is the first day I'm going to be focusing just on Spec Ops The Line. So I'll probably have some of that gameplay, but we're also going to do Ask the King that day. So keep your eyes open on Thursday. You're going to see a tweet and a Facebook post from me saying I'm accepting questions. You'll be able to put up those questions, and I'm going to pick some of those to answer in the episode. I'm really hoping I get some great questions for the 25th episode anniversary special, and that is so cool. I think what I might do is actually, to celebrate, give some things away during the course of that episode as a thank you to my fans who have stuck in there and faithfully been a fan of mine and asked questions in Ask the King for 25 episodes. So that's coming up on Thursday, paired with the Spec Ops The Line footage. Okay? After Saturday, I'm not exactly sure, like Sunday, Monday, are going to depend on what's happened during the course of the week. Because as you know, if you're attentive, you know I've left something out, and I'm going to explain why. I have left out The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the game that is the movie tie-in to the movie, the Amazing Spider-Man movie that's being released on July 3rd, 2012 here in the United States, which is a Tuesday, incidentally. The game is actually being released this week, so a week early than the movie. And the really weird thing about this is that the game actually takes place after the movie, so if you play the game, you basically spoil the entire movie for yourself. So why are they releasing the game a week early? I don't know. Why aren't they releasing it on July 3rd? I think that's what they should do. So, depending on how far I get with Spec Ops The Line, I may still be playing it on Sunday and Monday. Or, maybe I won't be. Maybe I'll have completed it and I'll have played multiplayer. I'll be done with it. What I kind of want to do is I want to save Spider-Man, or Amazing Spider-Man, for next week. I want to play it on Tuesday of next week, and here's why. You can go to the movies on Tuesday, watch the Amazing Spider-Man movie, come home, and then watch the gameplay through, and you won't spoil anything for yourself because the movie will, you'll have seen the movie. Not that I played the game a week early and now people are like, well, I would love to watch the footage, but I'm going to go see the movie and I don't want to spoil it, so I have to wait to watch the footage. It's silly that they put the game out so early. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to save Amazing Spider-Man for Tuesday of next week. In fact, there are no other major releases next week anyway, so it would be perfect to have that happen next week. And we actually, John and I, after this weekend, when we hopefully complete Lego Batman 2, we'll have some specials co-op coming up regarding the summer movies that are coming up. So every Saturday you're going to see summer movie co-op, where whatever the current movie is, you get to see games of that movie doing co-op and stuff. So next week might even be a whole Spider-Man week. We'll see what happens, but that's just a little teaser for next week. I just wanted to let everyone know, if you're wondering why is there no Spider-Man this week, that's why. I don't want to spoil the movie for everyone. I think it's really fucking stupid. So I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday of the next week. Not this week coming up. I have enough to do the next week. If there is any downtime in between, it's always possible I could jump into another game to try to fill it up, but I don't want to make those promises because I don't know how long it's going to take for me to beat the new stuff this week, okay? Whew! That's it for the weekend preview. A long and hefty one, but lots of cool footage coming up. Condo Tour, check it out if you haven't. New footage coming out Monday. Again, I'm not announcing, but I have some plans on what it is. I think it's going to be great. Tuesday, you're going to see Spec Ops The Line and the new Mass Effect 3 ending. Wednesday, you're going to see Spec Ops The Line and The Walking Dead Episode 2. Thursday, you're going to see Ask the King and more Spec Ops The Line. Friday, you're probably going to see Spec Ops multiplayer, I'm assuming, if I haven't beaten the campaign yet, or else the conclusion of the campaign. Saturday, you're going to see the rest of Lego Batman 2, more Smart Guys. Sunday, Monday, whatever content we're going to do. Next week, Spider-Man week, I'm flipping out. Just kidding. I'm so excited. I'm going nuts. I'm having a seizure. Alright, so that's it for the weekend preview. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I will see you guys for footage this week. Peace.